We'll call to order for the Town of Lakeview Workshop, October 11th, 2018, 5:30 p.m. Miss Vivian Hunter has agreed to have the invocation for us.
Father, we come asking for guidance in this meeting. We come asking for each of us to be thankful for having that ability, for the freedom that you've given us. We pray for those that are recovering from the storm, asking for your mercy and grace. We pray that you would feel at home tonight in this meeting. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, roll call, please.
Tony Brady.
Here.
Nancy Ray. Here. Vivian Bean.
Here.
Brad Cook.
Here.
Jan Smith.
Here.
Paul Calhoun.
Here. All right, thank you. The first item up is the sewage issue. Who wants to get us started there?
Is this in reference to the municipal buildings?
Yeah, not the whole thing. Although I guess it could be anything. Brad, where are we on the application? When I last talked to Keith, he received commitment on the land, and was well, I felt like he was ready to get the application down there. Have you talked to him lately?
I have not.
Tried to call him twice today and left voicemail, so he did not.
That's what he indicated to me too. Yes, Mr. Fisher, you know some more stuff?
The application is down there.
It is down there, okay? Great. Well, that means it's time for us to start calling and asking them to hurry up and get an answer. So that we know what our options are. It was already a very serious and time-sensitive issue, and it's gotten even more sensitive with the new information that's just come out. Anybody else got anything to talk about on the sewer? Not that we can't bring it back up in a few minutes. Okay. Town attorney. Did anybody have any luck getting in touch with Mr. Neff?
I did. I spoke to him.
How did that go?
He declined.
He declined, okay.
He declined. He gave me the names of a couple of other people to speak with, and I called and talked to Jim Standridge, who is the attorney for Vance. He was very receptive. Now, we didn't really talk about him being the town attorney on an ongoing basis, but to at least assist us in our current situation.
So he'd be willing to come in and work to the point that maybe we don't need him anymore, or?
Yes. And like I said, we just didn't even address being the town attorney on an ongoing basis.
I spoke with him also.
Standridge?
Standridge.
I spoke with him. Yes, he was very willing to help us to review the documents, to give us his legal opinion of what we have, where we stand. And I'm talking about reading the Gus documents to see what the town's actual role is and what of the debt we owe. He is very interested.
Any interest in being the municipal attorney for other things for a period of time, 6 months or something?
I didn't go in that with him because I thought that was the issue at hand, that we needed somebody to review that to bring it to the council. I did try to contact another person. They did not call me back, and that is Brookwood's attorney.
Right, stuck.
But he didn't return my
Stuck.
call. Stuck. Actually, Nancy and I met with Killings in Bessemer on Monday, and at this time he does not have enough time to even work on the one issue, and that's the main issue at hand, before we can go forward with anything else. I did get another name of someone else, and that's an attorney out of Central today that might be interested, but when I got the name, I got busy at work and there was no way I could make another phone today.
Did Mr. Standridge mention fee?
He told me $175 now.
Okay. That's roughly what we were budgeting last night.
Be the one that was looking at a minimum per month?
No,
That was the other one.
that was Kirkwood's.
The Standard also, he set up the GUSC in Vance, so he is very familiar with the GUSC. Would not be something brand new to him. I also left a message for Mr. Strutt and reached out to a few other people that declined. I do have, I spoke with Tracy Roberts. He gave me a list of attorneys that he thought would be, available and able and experienced to do what we need. I just have not had the opportunity to call any others.
Well, I'm the one that initially contacted Stuck, got the contact for Stuck, and talked to him. He had told me he does stuff, or has done stuff in the past for Northport and Vance, special projects, so I do know he takes on special projects. I really didn't go there too much either with, would he be interested in the full-time of a town attorney? But, you know, and there's another one that I haven't got a hold of yet. Somebody was gonna give me a referral for him, but I haven't got the information on him yet. So,
Well, I had another referral, but I mean, his
minimum,
his minimum was, he was looking at $5,000 retainer and a minimum of $2,000 a month, so I just didn't know, that just kind of seemed a little high to me, so I had to make contact with him.
Well, I would think that a $5,000 retainer is not, if we're gonna have somebody go through all these GUST documents and stuff, I think we need to plan on them spending $20 hours.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
but a retainer and then a minimum of 2,000, as a town attorney, we may have to spend it, but we wasn't spending near that on a monthly basis on a town attorney.
It's about 11 hours a month. We may need that in the next few months.
I don't think that would be
Probably not-
ridiculous.
Not on,
Okay, well, I'll reach out to him on the town attorney position.
Which one are we talking about now?
The guy I'm talking about now is out of Tuscaloosa.
What's his name? Is your?
I'm not
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
say.
I got you.
Because I haven't made the first contact, it was just someone that gave me
Very good.
that person. I can tell you he is a retired judge, so,
I still think we ought to hire Brandon Prince myself. He was our 50th hour.
since we pretty much need an attorney before we can make informed decisions.
We need to get a date on the calendar.
We need to get a date on the calendar.
Mhm.
Could we take 2 weeks to interview and get references and share information with each other and decide that we're going to get together and like in a special meeting, maybe on the 30th, it's a Tuesday night, on the court night. Maybe get together on the 30th.
I don't think that would be a bad idea. That way, in that amount of time, we would decide if we need a special project attorney and a separate one for our day-to-day town attorney business, or is there going to be, is one of these candidates available for both projects?
How's the 29th look for everybody?
Monday.
That's a Monday.
As far as I know right now, okay.
Okay,
I think I got something on that morning.
I'll tell you what, I won't call it until we're absolutely up on it so that we don't have to repost if we have to move the days around a little bit. If I can't get it done before the 29th, I want it to be the 2nd or later, so.
Well, I'll turn my phone on between meetings and find out exactly. I have an appointment one day and find out exactly what that day that is. I don't remember if it's the 29th or the 30th.
I'm putting a tentative special meeting.
So, let me just ask that, so you're wanting to postpone every bit of all the attorneys, not think about a special project attorney until then?
I think we need to, all of us need to talk to those, the attorneys, even if it for be a special project attorney. And with having something set, you know, I'm hoping that will give us I mean, we are making progress there by making a decision to, I mean, we don't want to get into the situation of hiring the wrong attorney because we did it on spur of the moment.
Well, with my conversation with Jim Standridge, I would be comfortable hiring him for this project.
I would be also.
And that would give us someone right away. With your, with your experience with Jay Stuck and the referrals that you got from him, and of course he was on the list that I got from Tracy Roberts, I could go that way too.
Did Tracy Roberts refer Jim Standridge to you?
No, Jason Neff referred Standridge to me.
Okay, and Jason Neff is a firefighter.
Yeah, he's in the fire
attorney.
district.
Fire district.
Well,
Jim Standridge said he didn't know Mike White. He
Okay.
had no affiliation with Mike White. He does have Gus experience, municipal experience.
Keyword.
I'm ready to vote for it.
And my whole thing with that is, he said he would give us an unbiased opinion, and he stated it to 3 of us. 3 different phone calls, and I would vote on the man tonight.
Okay.
Why don't we put it to a vote tonight?
Okay.
That's
I
a
just
new business
personally
number
vouch
10.
for him.
Well, there you went, taking it off.
With, what do you call it, to pay him?
175.
175.
Yeah, 175 an hour, and go ahead and give them a $5,000 retainer on the front. Because we sure don't want anybody to work for us for 5 hours and then bail
Correct.
out because they didn't get a check.
Correct. I'm in agreement.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too. We'll put that in the motion.
Okay, well, should we amend the new business to say town attorney for
It's all right.
special project? Or just town attorney?
When we make the motion to vote on it, then that'll be,
Okay.
all that we
Are
need.
you in new business?
It's in new
It's
business
under
number
A,
10.
it's under A, under new business.
All right,
And
good.
I will reach out to him and ask him, if he would be interested going forward. Of course, we don't have to make that decision right now, but the one thing that I remember is he asked me when our council meeting nights were, so that he could make sure that they didn't conflict if he needed to be here. He also asked me if we were looking at hiring him also as prosecutor, and I told him no, we had a prosecutor. That our immediate need is this issue.
Good.
But I'll find out from him.
Moving right along, jail contract. Bear with me, look over just a few, it's the first section in your discussion, it's just a few pages over. The first section will be entitled Interlocal Agreement for Jail Services Between, so on and so forth. You'll remember that we entered into a contract with Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Department to jail our prisoners. Keep in mind, the only ones that count against us that we actually have to pay for are misdemeanors. The felonies are picked up through other funds that we don't hold. We had 2 options when we entered into that contract. They were 183 days at $55 a night. That would mean that we owed $10,065. That was option 2. Option 1 was 365 days times $55. That's a bill of $20,075. We took option 2, the lower one, as did Brookwood, as did Vance. And somewhere along the year, we know where ours is, in March, we had run out of the 183 days and began to pay $82.50 for each night the man or woman was in the jail. Now, we've compared numbers. The numbers do match. The numbers that we had match based on what Tuscaloosa County gave us. The problem is if we drop somebody off at the jail at 6 a.m. and they're due to get out at 6 a.m. the next morning, which would have just been one $55 hit, and they stay till 8 or 9 o'clock that morning to get out. They've been in the bed longer than 24 hours. It takes another hit. Even though it was 3 hours and they probably weren't in the bed, they were probably down in processing somewhere, they hit us again. So that's why it's happening. I've talked to the probate judge about it. He's going to look at different ways to modify it, but he's on his way out. So I don't expect much. I did talk to Ron Robertson, since he probably will be the next one, Rob Robertson. And he said that's something that he would go on and be looking into as well, and I believe that. But the bad news is we never were invoiced for last year for the $10,065 that we really truthfully owed. I'm sorry, my mouth is dry for some reason. Over in the invoice section, you'll find county commission invoice with a total of $36,630 owed to the county. And it's broken out by month. And long about March is where I think February is when we ran out of our nights. February, March, and when we started in on overtime. Doing this would get us twice as many beds, and even with this boosted up number, if next year is like this year has been, we will still have some superfluous stays. We had 505 this contract year, so if we've got 365 stays available, we would exceed those again, but it have a far less effect on us on the other end. There is a system now that's in place, and we're in the process of getting set up on it. Brookwood was the first to get this bad news, and the mayor called me, and they got me calling, and sure enough, we were in the same boat. So they have created a program that will allow our clerks, Brookwood's going to do it daily, we've set ours up too, to go in, see who's in the jail, and see the tally, the total of where we are. It won't tell us against 365, we'll have to keep up with the 365, but it will tell us that 224 has been used so far. And since it can change so drastically daily, we really need to keep a tab on it, probably every third day at the very minimum. But when we get up to the bench, my recommendation is going to be that we go with a 365-day plan at $20,075, unless there's different opinions.
So does it renew starting in October?
It renews in October, yes, ma'am.
Any possibility they might let us do it in arrears?
I have flown that up the flagpole, and it is being checked on. I've called in every favor that I had stored up, so we'll see. That's the reason I'm not prepared to pay the $36,000 tonight.
Can this come from court funds?
It comes from which fund? It does, court, yes, court. I know it's court or corrections.
That still puts a big hit in the court fund,
It
doesn't
does?
it?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
I'm just kind of surprised it wasn't monitored by somebody. I mean, you know,
Yep.
Too, that's exactly
previous,
what-
I mean, you know, and that we didn't know that by February, we were out of time. Now, I know we discussed, you know, the possibility that we would get bit, but that we could monitor it and possibly make a change before we got chewed up, but obviously, that didn't happen.
That's right. Well, now they've created an app. When Brookwood started fussing, and they're worse off than we are, unfortunately. When they started fussing, they got the IT guys to create this simple little app that when you log in, it gets only our stuff. And I really think there ought to be some window there that just because somebody's a couple of hours over in getting released, I have a problem with that, but you can't fight City Hall, I guess you
Well,
can't fight.
I would say it's not so much that they have a place to sleep, it's the supervision of those.
That's what they
prisoners.
keep going back to.
Yeah. If they have to supervise them for 14 hours, they want to get paid.
But there you go. They want to be able to pay that person for those 2 hours they stayed late, but we're giving them enough money.
We're paying them for
For
8 hours.
24 hours, actually, yes.
Yeah, 24 hours.
24 hours, so,
That's from the judge.
okay, thank you. Okay.
And this is always billed in arrears at the end of the year?
You know, that, it's somewhere in the contract, it said that, it defined how it was gonna be billed. I think it's in section 5, payment by town. Y'all that can read faster, y'all scan through that and see.
We're gonna find it first.
It's on page 4 of 9, in section 5, middle of the page.
Says invoices may be sent monthly, quarterly, or any other schedule convenient. Maybe we ought to ask for bills quarterly.
I receive quarterly invoices on the dispatcher, so I don't know.
Okay.
why
I
they-
guess that's what I remember us
That would
paying
be
is the
at least-
I
dispatching
do get
stuff.
dispatching invoices, but not, I've never received an invoice on it.
Because if we would've had this at least quarterly, we might've gotten, might have been over for a month or a month and a half, but it wouldn't be near this amount that we would've run over.
Maybe we can make a motion to go to the 365 days and ask for the quarterly billing.
Yes, I think that will be the perfect way to do it. Any other questions about the jail contract?
And our records indicate that those numbers that they gave us are correct.
Yeah, where we fell off, if you got out the day after you went in, we counted that as 1 day. But
Like I said, they give it to them.
the difference was made up by those 2 and 3 and sometimes 4 hours where they hit us for another day. Now, if it's 10 or 15 minutes, I didn't see any of that because they gave us the times. But if it was anything beyond an hour,
And also, we've got it set up at the jail, we're on the mailing list now to let us know if they've got anybody in jail, they're supposed to notify me.
Okay.
any other questions on the jail contract? All right, moving right along. December magistrate maintenance class, $50 per person. I'll let one of y'all speak to that.
Oh, it's just the yearly for our CEUs. They hold it in June, they also hold it in December, and Carol and I have elected to go to the December class.
The local?
It's in Montgomery. We went last year as well.
One day.
It's just a 1-day class.
And these are court charges, court fund
Yes,
expenses.
yes. And it's a 8 to 4 class.
Any other questions on that? Okay. Consent agenda, we have Warren Tire, 4 tires for deletion at 922.
Whose car?
That is Frankie's car. Allcom Wireless, replace antenna on police unit. Which unit had the antenna replaced, Eddie?
I believe that was David.
David's? It had gone faulty?
He's had problems with his radio ever since we had it installed, and he can hear one side of the conversation, but he can't hear the other. And I took it down there and they reprogrammed it, and that didn't work. They put a new antenna on it.
And that worked?
Seemed to work.
Okay, was there not any kind of warranty on this antenna?
I believe they installed the antenna that we had from a previous unit on that car.
I thought we bought all new antennas for those.
Those were
Easily
ADLs.
found.
Or was that for the
Yeah,
tracker
it's a different
things?
type of antenna, yeah. But we can certainly see. Something to look into.
$75 isn't bad.
Well, no,
It
it's
should have
just,
been $750.
yeah,
Yeah, that's right. All right, Alabama Municipal Insurance Corporation, renewal, public officials bonds, that's $264. Got any questions about that? Don't think so.
Is that an annual thing?
It is, yes ma'am. B-Tech, setting up the new laptop for the court. You know, we voted on a new laptop for the court to use during court, and B-Tech came in and got it set up on the system the way it needed to be.
so next week will be the first week we've been able to use it.
Mhm.
Is that
Exciting.
from the court fund?
Yeah. All right, the law enforcement surplus participation fee of $250. That is something we do every year, isn't it, Eddie, to get that access?
It's a 1033 program or LESO program. It's where we got the M16s, the 1911s. We can go in and get all kind of military equipment. We can get the Hummers from them. And none of it costs us anything to ship it.
Yeah, it's like a Walmart for law enforcement people. You just go in and pick up the thing. It's made for municipalities like us that don't have the bankroll to just run out and buy everything new, and that's where they get a lot of the equipment from.
Give me a Hummer.
I've been asking for two, but y'all won't approve the insurance on them. That's all you got to pay, right?
And then you
You
say
Hummers.
that. All right. Any questions on that one? All right. Tuscaloosa County Commission, jail inmate invoice. You see the 36,630. Tonight, my plan is to approve its payment if I'm unsuccessful in getting it knocked down.
Well, question here is, it's time for it to be renewed, okay? So do we have a contract extension, or do we have a new invoice for the 365 days yet?
No.
And that contract is good to 2020.
Okay, so it's not just an annual one, it does
Yeah.
go, but we have the option of changing,
Yeah.
okay.
And this 36,000 includes that 10,000 that we never paid.
The 10,075 that was already budgeted, but we just never sent it out.
Okay.
Any other questions about the jail invoice? Super. Now, minutes from July 30th, 2018. That was a special workshop, and minutes were provided by Councilperson Brady. Did anybody see any additions, corrections?
I think she did a good job.
Well, I was hoping she would find one, because she's usually the one that finds one, and others, so it'd be
I've
funny if she
seen this
found
so
one.
many times, the words are running together.
I know that. I know how that is. All right, moving right along. Building inspector.
Kind of a little slower month as far as inspections go. They kind of backing off and slowing down. I had 22 building inspections, building and miscellaneous permits, 45 inspections. I collected over 12,000 in permits and fees this month. And of course, the typical, I visit with several different contractors and checking on them for business license, permits and stuff like that. Now when I ride through town, I get people, they start seeing that white Jeep go by and they go, looking to see where I'm going and where I'm going to stop. So just trying to keep everybody straight. Issued one stop work order this month. They came in, they took care of their permit and business license. Then also, Councilman Brady, you had brought to my attention questioning about the marks and stuff that you see in the streets and stuff. And then obviously, if you've been through the Tan Hill Preserve area, you're seeing a lot of landscaping going along the Parkway. That's being done by D.R. Horton. It's purchased most of the Tan Hill Preserve, if not all already, that's left over for building. And then you'll also see some new green painting in the streets. That's where I'm working with Cottingham Contractors, which is a paving contractor that I'm familiar with from my previous job. He is actually going through and marking up the streets to do for repairs and seal coat paving. What I'm discussing with him is paving streets that have no more construction on, patching the ones that do, or discussing if they determine they want to go ahead and seal them, the size of the bonds that would be necessary to cover those should there be any damage to it later on. So right now we're just doing marking it up, just trying to get a good general idea of what it's going to take to kind of get these roads in a little bit better shape in the neighborhood out here, and getting ready for the next season when they start doing advertising and promoting sales in these 3 new sectors.
And this is in D.R. Horton's
This is
down.
all D.R. Horton. And since I've been the warden, from what I hear. Several of these contractors, these new ones that are coming in town are coming on down and visiting here at the office before they go out there and get started. So I guess I'm
Doing your job right.
I'm making some noise. I think I've done a decent job for the town. And looking at, of course, obviously we did the financial stuff, but the budget has increased significantly, both in business license and permit fees for the town.
That's right.
So hopefully next year is going to even be better. And if you look at those numbers, I've only been here for 8 months. And if you back up and look at the numbers before I got here and look at the numbers after I got here, it's a significant difference.
Anybody got any questions for George?
Just one, has your signs come in yet for your truck? Do you know? Did you order them?
I will follow up on that.
Okay.
That would be in it.
Your budget last night,
That would be in there.
I like that, you did well.
Means I don't have them, but I will follow up.
Anything else for George? All right, thank you, George. Eddie, come give the police department report, please.
In the month of September, we made 11 arrests on warrants, dispatched on 78 calls, made 1 drug arrest, had 0 false alarm calls, 1 felony arrest, took 25 incident offense reports, drove 4,575 miles. 3 other types of arrests, 37 outside agency assist, 9 traffic citations, and 2 traffic accidents. If you look on your printouts, for some reason David was having a problem getting his report to transfer. That's why there's no stats on him.
I had that wreck a couple weeks ago where the light flight was called in. Was there any good news that came out of that? I've never heard anything more.
State Troopers works it out. I think
It didn't work.
it's outside city limits. Oh, go ahead, Mayor.
I was going to ask you about this that I was handed just before the meeting.
Was it?
It's estimate from Express Oil.
Right. One of the Tahoes.
That's
It's
one
been
that's over
there.
there now.
Yes, sir. It's been there a couple of weeks, I believe, and from the way they talk, it's too dangerous to drive. That's why it's been sitting there in the parking lot.
All right, well, I'll be answering in just a minute then.
Is that Frankie's Tahoe?
No, it's spare. Last night during the meeting, we talked about stuff that wasn't gonna be in the budget. The charge card, our cars, because of all the electronics, or you leave it sitting 3 or 4 days, batteries are dead.
That's happening again?
Yeah. David went to get his yesterday afternoon. He drove it Tuesday night, went and get in it Wednesday night, the battery was almost dead. There's a thing called a charge card that you can attach to it, that your electronics run through. You set a timer on it, and after it reaches the time that you set, it could be anywhere from 3 seconds to 3 hours or whatever. When it reaches that time, it shuts everything down in the car except for the ability to crank it, and it saves batteries. Those, I checked on the internet last night, run anywhere from about $69 to $99.
See, what the big thing is, the reason they're running down is that VRU,
ABL.
the ABL, yeah, ABL stays active all the time so that we can find the car when it's parked. If somebody turns it off to go chase after somebody, we still know where they are because the car's there and sending a signal up. Or if you didn't need that ability, you could just put a switch in there that you turn off the power to the ABL when your shift's over, but that wouldn't work.
David actually tried that the other day. He was going to be off 4 days to reach back here and he unplugged the ABL. And he said it worked fine, but it took him about 3 hours to get the ABL to come back up.
Yeah, don't want to do it that way. What was the prices on them? You said a range?
They ran anywhere from $69 to $99.
What would you get for 60 that you wouldn't?
They all look the same to me.
Is there an installation charge?
There would be an installation fee. I don't know what that is.
That's not something we can put in.
I'm not sure.
Think the county would help us?
I doubt it. Also, the Mary and I talked about this, I think I brought it up at the last council meeting. AT&T and several different phone companies have started a program called FirstNet. All first responders are able to have their cell phones put on FirstNet. If we have tornadoes come through, it takes out everything, we're the first ones to go back on the system. Plus, I can get on the portal and request a portable tower to be brought in or whatever. What did you say my phone bill for the city is?
Yours runs almost $90 a month.
It would knock my phone bill down to 40. The mayor would be able to get on it, and Carol would be able to get on it. So that's basically cutting our phone bills in half. And the drug test kits. We're totally out of drug test kits. Now the warrant clerks and the DA's office will not accept our word that a particular drug was in possession of someone. We've got to test it. Here recently, I've made 4 felony cases myself on drugs. They will accept the drug test kits that we use in the streets. We test it, then we send it to state lab. We get an official testing, but they will accept that. There's 3 major drugs that we need to test for. 100 of each one would run $706.
That's really something that
We gotta
we
have
need.
it.
$706 for how many?
That's 300 tests.
300 tests.
100.
But it's 100 of 3 different tests.
Yes.
Right, it's got 4 boxes that you.
Some of them are combined, like heroin goes in with the opiates and things, so. All right, any questions for Eddie? I'd like to put it so that we can talk about this at the bench. Under new business, D would be charge guard, and E would be test, they're not strips, they're test
Test kits.
test kits. Big word, I couldn't come up with it.
Did you want to bring the new officer part-time?
Oh, yeah. After, I think last week, we had agreed to hire a part-time officer. He has partially completed his, why'd you bring it up, Eddie? My mind is going 40 different places, I'm sorry.
Y'all know we lost Joel because of benefits and pay. Y'all last council meeting, you approved Keith, our part-timer, to become full-time. He's turned it down because of benefits and pay. Tommy Ford has 18 years of experience. He is currently working part-time for Vance. He is a pharmaceutical rep. He can set his own schedule, so he can pretty much work any days we need him to work. His drug test came back good.
We have
As
no
far
way
as I
to
know.
discuss whether the drug test came back good or not. We
And,
haven't discussed that.
I think it makes us a good officer.
We have one step left
And this
before we
is for a
can
part-time position.
Right.
part-time position.
I'm still looking for a full-time to replace Joel.
What's his name, Eddie?
Tommy Ford.
Is that going under F? Is that gonna go under F?
Yeah, because pending this last piece that I've got to do, I would like permission to hire him. So under F, I'd like to put that we part-time officer. Being meticulous in the way we're bringing them in. So, anything else, Eddie? Or any more questions for Eddie?
Did you ever get his credit card back from him?
His credit card's expired.
Did you ever get it back from him?
No.
Period?
Let's see. Any other questions for Eddie? Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, court. You're hiding in your drawer.
Yeah. We started off with $56,882.36. We deposited $12,157.36. We withdrew $6,410.70. We ended up with a bottom line of $62,629.02.
It had a little excitement, so.
Yeah, and I keep looking around waiting for it to roll and see.
How come they're always in your office? The snake and then that weird bug that came from the ceiling.
I saw the snake this morning.
What kind of snake was it?
It was a baby snake, but it was a snake, okay?
Was it a
So
laxative?
there's a snake in it. It may have been that long, it's still a snake.
Was it a laxative snake?
Boy.
A laxative snake?
Yeah, almost. I
Um,
wouldn't have come back.
Any other questions for Carol and her animal farm that she's running?
It was in your office,
For real, it was something along.
All right, moving right along, town clerk.
It's still a snake.
It is.
In the general fund, we started out with $280,080.92. Withdrew $28,470.89. Deposited $21,953.73, leaving us with a balance of $273,563.76. In savings, beginning balance was $252,730.05. We gained $63.03 interest, bringing it to $252,793.08. You will also see there is a 6-month money transfer between accounts from April 1st to September 30th. I will need the council's permission to transfer those funds to the general fund, which would be a total of $14,935.10.
Any questions for Cheryl? Did you have that on the agenda to vote on that?
I was just gonna ask him during my report during the council.
Any questions for Cheryl? Okay, fantastic. Any questions for the attorney? Yeah, we got a lot of questions for the attorney. Yes, questions.
Update to everybody on the task force. I had originally planned to have a task force meeting already, but with the things that happened, it kind of got pushed to the back burner just a little bit, so we'll get that up and go. Just needed a little more time.
Also the, boy, I'm struggling tonight. The employee reviews, the performance evaluations. I have completed the document that we'll be using, and we'll probably start that in the next couple of weeks and try to have it finished by the end of the month. Anybody got anything else for the workshop session? We actually have time to take a little break before we start.
I kind of want to know about the next 21, why don't you approve the forms?
Why don't I approve what forms?
The forms that she has given you about a year ago to put in the next 21.
She handed you a bunch of forms months ago for you to look through and approve.
I guess that's just neglect on my part then.
Okay. You can contact Carol, please.
What, the forms to go on the internet, on the website? Okay, all right.
We paid her for
Did she
them.
make changes to them?
I don't know what she's done.
No, I don't think, well, if anything, it may just be formatting, just so that we can get all the forms.
But he has to approve it before she can post it. And that we paid for
Well,
it.
that's a quick job. I'm sorry that I let it sit on that. I used to sit on the hard ones.
Do we want to do anything with the first net? She's brought it up a couple of months in a row. Do we want to
Well, that's the thing that we talked about.
That he was talking about with the phone.
Yeah. I think we really should. My concern was it was gonna take our phone service away from AT&T, and then we'd be paying two people, but it leaves it with whoever it is. Lowers our bill because they throw those three people in with a much larger group. Our three phone bills will still come on the city's statement. It's just, they'll be lower than they have been being.
Will they have to actually make any changes to your phones, or is it something they can just
No.
do?
No.
It's all done by computer. They just flip a few switches and it's done.
And the idea, and the other thought I had is, by joining, in the event of an emergency, EFE or whatever happens and causes disturbance to our cell service here, they come out and put up a mobile antenna. Well, that'll benefit the three people here that have those AT&T phones, but it's going to benefit everybody else in the area that has AT&T service. Because that
Is
mobile
there a
antenna.
fee to join this?
Is there a fee to join it?
Nope.
It's part of the emergency management, or FEMA.
The interoperability deal that the federal government says.
Well, we have that in new businesses.
Is there any interruption in service?
Did we not need,
Done.
If we get in it and we don't like it, can we back out of it?
where's the?
Anna did not ask, I'm sure she did.
Let's put that down at G, and it's called FirstNet.
You don't happen to have any paperwork on it, do you? Other than just.
They're probably doing my desk upstairs. I switched my personal phone up to, they allow first responders to even put their personal cell phones up.
Well, since we got a few minutes anyway, you think maybe you can come up with it?
Anybody else got anything for the workshop? All right, let's dismiss, and we'll gather back up here in just a few minutes.